Here's your flip chart. So the title of this I call How to Claim Your Universal Inheritance. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here just so we can see it as best we could. So for me, and this just fits in with manifesting is, yeah, I'm recording. Yeah, I got the button. For me, this fits in with manifesting as well as one of the clarifications when you're manifesting a desire is it's not so much that you're creating something, it's that you're tuning into an experience that already exists and giving it form in the physical, right? So kind of the what you're looking for in the physical is already here as a potential reality. Think of it as potential energy, right? Then a lot of the manifesting process is taking that and giving that form in the physical. So we're not really creating the non-physical aspect of that desired outcome. It's already there. We're just taking that piece and bringing it down into the physical. So you could think of it as an inheritance, right? So you think of an inheritance. This is a value that's there. You just need to claim it. And just as it says here, the universe, whatever label you wish to use, right? This is kind of I can't quite get it straight. But anyway, sorry guys. Holds an inheritance for you, including healing, abundance, relationship, whatever. I really like to send a universal trust. So think about a trust. A trust holds value, right? But you can't access the trust until you access the trust, right? You have to do something to access that trust, because even though, let's say, you own it, it's for you, you still need to get it out of there, right? And as it says here, these are some really powerful words. To receive it, you must stop timidly asking. You must stop timidly asking and boldly claim what is already yours. So when we're looking for something, right? Well, first of all, if we're looking for it, then it must be lost rather than claiming it. And this sounds like I'm playing on words, but this is really, really powerful. And this is, I think, one of the themes for this year really is to stop asking what does God, what does Source, what does universe want for me, right? It's start claiming what you want. And you don't do it as instead timidly asking or looking for. It's already here, but it's waiting for you to claim it. And as it says, to boldly claim what is already yours. And I really like this piece, based on your true identity. Now that's a really key, right? So what is your true identity, right? You are an individualization of the I am. Now, what do I mean by that? So some of the labels I use is when I talk about your soul, your spirit, your higher self, whatever label you want to use, when I'm looking at it from an energy mechanics perspective, I call that your I am, right? So then source, universe, whatever, I call that the I am. So what I'm saying here is, I'm not saying you're the I am, but you are an individualization of the I am. Right? Now, because of that, you have the right to claim, based on who you are, not what you have done. See, here's one of the things about understanding this is you don't have to earn it. You can't earn it, for that matter, because that's not how you gain access to it. You see, it's an aspect of you. It is there for you. So you don't have to earn it, but you need to step into your identity of an individual, as an individualization of the I am, and then claim it, because that's almost your birthright, if you could put it that way. And it says here, this inherent right of ownership comes from your core identity. Right? That's why, and you've heard me talk about this. I'm just going to go over here, quite a bit in the past, is that here we are. So much of, again, manifesting desires, and the mechanics of it is you choose your desire, then you go backwards and you define who the individual is that would naturally manifest that desire. And then so much of the work is going from who you are now into who you choose to be. And it's that is the work, because as you become that new version of yourself, you will naturally manifest what you're looking for. Right? When you think about it, if you want to change the projection, you got to change the projector. Yeah? Okay. So, step 2, take bold. I love this. Bold actions. It's time for us to start being bold. You know, oh, gee, and settle. Oh, I can sit. Oh, I like this, but this is okay, and that. Time for us to stop settling. It's time for us to be bold and start claiming this shit, right? Claiming what you want. Because again, you don't have to earn it. It's nothing to do with that. This is who you are. Claim it, right? As it says here, stop asking and start claiming. I really like this. The universe requires you to be bold, not timid in your approach. I really like that. You see, it's a requirement. If you want to access this inheritance, one of the requirements is you boldly claim it, right? Don't timidly ask, boldly claim. So sometimes what people will say is, when they're so, it's almost like, well, am I manifesting the right things? Or here's the big one. Here's the big one, right? I don't know if the universe has this in store for me, or maybe this just isn't my path, or maybe it's just not the right timing, or maybe it's not this, or maybe it's my past mistakes, or maybe it's all this, maybe it's my history, all this kind of stuff. I think for me, we need to throw all that out, step out, and do that. Boldly claim it. And I love this here. Stand in your own power and declare ownership. And just some examples. I see the key word here. I claim. I claim. I claim. I claim. I claim. Right? It's not I ask. I ask. I ask. I'm good at this part. Yeah, well, right? I think that's the thing. Because we can't earn it, therefore we can't unearn it. Right? And in so many cases, we use our past mistakes, either perceived or real, semantics here, to then, I think, somehow almost justify why we're choosing to settle. And I'm even going to challenge you guys a little bit to not settle, to choose not to settle, to not try and justify not receiving or claiming everything that you deserve, because you can't earn it, right? You deserve it because of who you are. And I'm speaking to myself too. And yet we get less than that, and we try and convince ourselves to settle. Have you ever noticed that you're never happy with that? And if you are, it's just marginal, right? Why is it such a challenge to settle, right? It's such a challenge to settle because you were never designed to settle. The example I use, keeping it really spiritual, right, is it's like you've got size 8 feet and you're trying to put them in size 6 shoes, right? It just won't work. And even if you get them, well, thank you. One is probably can't see too well. One is a hummingbird. One is a dragonfly. The other is actually here. Hold on. The other is, well, that's the dragonfly. Hold on. The other is, I'll cut this out of the recording so we're good. It's the tooth, or probably a claw. It's probably a coyote claw, probably. Anyway, that was received these both as gifts. So anyway, so the reason that settling is so difficult is because we were never designed to settle. There's a page in the master's manual of the Reiki master's class, and it's a quote from, oh goodness, I want to say A Course in Miracles. There's one more thing, yeah. A Course in Miracles, and it talks about basically why we can never be content with littleness because we were not designed for it. Okay, just one more piece here. Act from internal knowing versus external experience. This is very much easier said than done, right? Because this, we become so enamored with our external experience, right? And we allow our external experience to try and convince us to settle. There's my word for the night, to try and convince us to settle, or even more than that, to try and convince us not even try and get it in the first place, not even try and claim it in the first place, right? As opposed to this, that internal knowing, like true power is an expression of self. I love this. Is an expression of self, not an impression created for and by others. Now, believe me, this is a whole lot easier said than done. Nevertheless, it's very true. You bet, Adoradel. I mean, here, I'm going to do this again. This is almost the most important thing of this whole teaching is right there. Internal knowing versus external experience. Right? And I really love this text right here. Isn't it true power is an expression of you, not an impression, and this is really good, created for others. And I'm going to add to that, created by others. Our external experience is temporary, it's transitory, it's often chaotic, right? I mean, your external experience, that's the one area that, as we all know, shit happens, right? But your internal identity, that's where your power is. Not out here. It's in here. And I'll just finish it off. And then if we go over here, we can, and we kind of talked about this, but your inheritance can be anything you desire. Physical healing, financial abundance, healthy relationship. Pick your label. But this is waiting for you in trust. But you're not going to get it until you know how to access that trust. And just as we talked about here, how do you access it? By boldly claiming it. All right, perfect. That was the teaching for tonight. I'm just going to